Hey, what's up guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Marvel Legends Maximum Series Deadpool! Oh man, are they going to nail it? I don't feel 100% satisfied with the Maximum Series Spider-Man. Definitely not with the Hulk, as you guys know. I ripped mine. This right here could be the one. I like how the matte finish looks on the figure already. You get the Maximum Series logo. You get a product shot of Deadpool over there. Yeah, I get a product shot of Deadpool and Dupe over there. And then on the back, you get Deadpool and Dupe once again. On the top, not spot varnished, but it says Maximum Series. Not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And if you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here's Deadpool out of the packaging along with Dupe. And this is a great Deadpool figure. Just got to get that out of the way. This thing is hella fun. I've been having a great time taking photos with it. There are some things that I dislike, some warnings to put out there. At least one anyway. But first, let's get a closer look at all the accessories that come with the figure. Then we'll take a closer look at Deadpool. So we get a lot of accessories over here, but this is where most of the reuse is on this purchase. It's with the interchangeable hands more than anything else. We do have some new weapons, some old for sure. We do get a set of peace sign and thumbs up hands right over here. He has his various item holding hands with the horizontal hinge. Got the gun holding hands the same direction with the hinge. We got the vertical hinge on these fist hands, and the horizontal hinge on these pew pew finger hands right here. Speaking of pew pew, we do get a set of guns, which we've seen before. They do not have a hole in the front of them though, and I do like that we have an even set of these, and we do have proper gun storage. So he has his sheath right here, or a holster on the side and holster on the front, and those store nicely. He's got baby knife over here, which goes all the way back to the Bucky cap mold. I can't believe they're still using the same knife, but hey, it works. And it stores nicely into the boot sheath right there. Then we get these Ninjatos, which I just had to look up because I was like, do I know what I'm talking about? Because I wish he had katanas. These are Ninjatos. This is a katana, so biggest difference is the bend in the blade right here. In the movie, he has katanas, but you know, this figure, he has these Ninjatos. If you could look up some comparisons, they're not supposed to be way shorter. Like, the blade isn't supposed to be super short compared to a katana. So I definitely wish they had gone with the katanas instead of the Ninjatos right over here. So I am bummed out about that. And I did get a little bit of paint wearing off on one of them. I don't know if you could see it. There it is. See, a little bit of paint coming off. And you can store right here. We have some new fun accessories like this stick of dynamite, which is cool. I like how the spark's activated right there. And then you get a chimichanga, and you get this little logo right there, which reminds me of El Farolito. Say El Guero Taqueria? I don't know. By the way, best burrito on earth, La Taqueria de Guadalajara in San Francisco in the Excelsior. You got to do it if you're in San Francisco. Best burritos ever. And this gun is a new one right here. I don't remember seeing this before. Looks cool. I like having Deadpool with big old weird kind of freaky guns, so I like that. And he does come with 3 different firing effects, which you can see right here. This is the biggest one, and they are different sizes. We've seen these before. You have the more narrow one right over there, and then you have the shortest one right over here. So that's pretty cool. You also get this assault rifle. Is this a rifle? Yeah, it's a rifle, and it looks pretty cool. You cannot remove the banana. I feel like we saw this before. The Savage Land figure? I can't remember. But this also has the nozzle at the end. Then we get this. I wish this had the hinge right over here up front. We've gotten this before from Marvel Legends, or this model anyway. And we don't have any of the shells properly painted or anything like that. It looks weird seeing a, you know, big old green shell on the inside like that. I'm not used to seeing that. They're usually, you know, like copper plated or something. Brass, right? I don't know. I don't know gun too good. But anyway, you can see there's a nozzle right there, so you could plug in those effects. And then lastly, we get the stand right here for the dupe. And this is a good looking dupe. I like it a lot. I love the wash that we're seeing over the green. That looks really good. I like how the teeth came out. I like how he's got a little bit of yellow and red in his eyes. If you zoom in on that, you know, you could really see that detail in the eyes. So I dig that. You're just looking at the back and the top of his head and everything. So it's pretty well painted. There's Colito port. And he has a fist on the right side, open hand right here. You have just a little bit of articulation where you could hinge outward. And then you could, rotate at the shoulder as well. And for your dupe comparison, you could see the Series 6 Deadpool dupe right over here. This one's quite larger. I don't know, which one of these two do you prefer? They're actually both pretty good, man. I don't know, I got a little stain right over there. But yeah, I like how this one's more detailed. It's got just a little bit more as far as paint goes. But I do like how this one's a little bit larger. Definitely easier to see and fit in on the shelf. Quick friendly reminder, we do have a giveaway for a Maximum Series Deadpool coming up this Thursday on the 30th, so I hope to see you there. So we get 2 head sculpts with this figure, and I don't know, for a Maximum Series figure, I just don't feel like that's enough, so I'll say the same thing to Hasbro as most of us will say to our partners, more head please. And this does look okay. I do like the sculpt of it. You could feel a little bit of it. No, not really so much. It's kind of smooth, but you could see the wrinkles sculpted in there. You get some paint on the gums. You get some hot spots on here, but, in person it's not that bad. It could use, I guess, a little bit of that matte coated sealer paint over it. And I do like the wrinkles right here. It does look pretty cool on the side and everything. I just wish it did come with an unmasked head. And you can see the skin tone on this unmasked head. I believe this is the one that I got from the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Wave one. And I think you could also get it in the Monkey, the Hit Monkey 2-pack. I'm not sure. But anyway, you can see that we get a much more prominent tone right here. Just stands out a little bit more with the fully unmasked head. And putting this on the figure right here, it doesn't look that great. It sits a little bit high, so you'd have to kind of dribble out a little bit of plastic, getting that to fit on the peg nicely. But of course, here's the head sculpt that I'm going to use while he's on the shelf, and I do like it. It's a solid head sculpt. But I think it could have used one more head sculpt, like the SDCC version. So I feel like, the overall design with this one is more of his commando look, right? We get the Deadpool drip. This is like the first appearance look, and with it being Maximum Series, getting the first appearance head on here would have been nice to have as well. I would have liked that. This is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and I did port that on the figure, but again, the neck just looks a little bit long, and it looks a little bit odd, but I do like this head sculpt, and I do like the color tone. I like this matte red. It looks really nice. I love what they did with sculpting all kinds of details throughout on the figure, making it very Deadpool specific. You can see the collar right there is all sculpted, nice little silver details. The straps look really good right over here. We get more of these little buckles right here throughout on his suit, and I like the wrinkles on it. These arms are really stiff, man. We'll get into the articulation in just a moment, but man, the scariest part of the figure is moving these arms around. It feels like I'm going to pop a bicep peg apart. Wish you could straighten out the elbows all the way. That always bugs me, but we get these little arm guards with gashes in them right over here. More paint on the figure would have been much appreciated, man. I had to bust out my Series 6 Deadpool over here because it just has, it's reflecting light like crazy, but still has that nice shading of black paint over the red that I think looks so good. I love it. Yeah, but we're not seeing that on the new figure. It's just flat red throughout. And the black had some kind of gray over it too, so some dry brushing would have been cool. Anyway, the buckles are nicely painted, all accurately painted right there. Nice texturing on the belt and stuff, so that's pretty cool. Again, my gripes about the katana's painted buttons, even on the back, so at least they did that, which is like, they don't get points for that. That's just something they should not do, right? Like, they're supposed to paint all those. But yeah, holster looks pretty good. The legs are a bit long on the figure. I will say that the proportions just feel a little bit off with the legs. I do like all the gashes right over here in the shin guards and everything. Again, some paint right there would have made that sculpt pop even more. Then looking at the boots, they look pretty good right here. Nice little textures in the sculpt, and you get peg holes. So I gotta tell you guys, I am very happy with the articulation, but I have my gripes, one of which I had already mentioned a moment ago, and one I'll mention right now is I wish we had a hinge over here at either the base of the neck or at the base of the head meeting the neck right there, so he can look up that far, but with the hinge he would have been able to look further. He can look down very well, and you get some really good head and neck pivoting right here. Of course, you can turn the head or the neck side to side, either one. You have the butterfly joints right here, which actually work out pretty well, I think. So they bend forward and back nicely. And these shoulders get stiff when you move them up and down. They move up and above the 90-degree mark right there. They can move in this far due to those straps kind of hindering, you can only bend far in so much when you have a strap in the way. You could rotate a full 360. God, I feel like these bicep pegs want to break off easily. I don't know, I get scared. There's certain poses that I really felt like they're going to come off, so just be very careful with that. But there's your bicep swivel. See how this is kind of bending on me a little bit? That just scares me some, man. I don't like that. We have the double jointed elbows, and then the wrist turns side to side. These have the horizontal hinge to them. You have the diaphragm cut right here, diaphragm pivot, and it moves forward and back. We also have a U-joint right there at the waist. So with both of those joints, you'll bend forward quite a bit and back a little bit less so, which is okay. I prefer it bending forward more so than back, so I'm okay with that. No horizontal waist cut, though. Hips will move out. Well, if you can shift this belt around so that the gun doesn't get in the way, you can move the hips outward that far. I did scuff a little bit of paint right over there at the very, very top. No drop-down hips on this guy, but he will kick forward that much. Back the slightest bit. Upper thigh cut. Pinless double-jointed knees. We do get boot rotation, and the ankles do move down. They do move up nicely. Beautiful ankle pivot and toe articulation. Now to measure out this Maximum Series Deadpool, you can see it's standing right at about 6.5 inches tall. And for some Deadpool comparisons, you can see I had to bring out the classic Toy Biz Series 6 Deadpool. And man, this had a lot of accessories as well. I did pay $65 for this figure back in the day, I think in 2009. That Series 6 wave, I had never seen a wave of figures come out and then go up in value so fast in my life. Not even since then. It was insane. It's like the wave came out and then it was like $40 a figure, something like that. It was crazy. And for more Deadpool comparisons, you can see we have the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Wave Deadpool, and then we have the San Diego Comic-Con Deadpool right here with the different weapons, because I don't like the bright blue handles on the katanas. But anyway, I really love this more ninja style right over here, the first appearance look. I still really love that a lot, but this overall, I just like this more out of the three. This could still be a favorite. I wouldn't blame you if this was still your number one Deadpool, but yeah, I like this one the most. Then one thing I just thought of is comparing this Scooter Deadpool next to our new Maximum Series Deadpool. By the way, the rib's feeling much better. This strap system would have been cool to have come with the Maximum Series, so you could swap out if you wanted to have this on your Deadpool. I'm going to see if I could actually make this fit on there, so give me a second. Derp, that's not happening. There's no easy peg that comes apart on this belt, and you would need that to swap right over here. There is a peg that could come off right here, but yeah, not on this new Deadpool's belt. And then here's Deadpool next to what I consider to be our Marvel vs. Capcom cable, but I added the Series 6 pauldron right over here in this gun. I think that came with crossbones. I could be wrong about that, but they look kind of cool side by side. I can't wait to open my X-Men 97 cable. That may be the very best cable. I don't know. We'll see. Then here's Deadpool next to the Gamerverse Silver Samurai 2-pack Wolverine figure, which, oh my god, one of my favorite figures of the year so far. I really love this thing. And I'm happy to see it still standing shorter than this Deadpool over here, even though he's a bigger Wolverine. They still look cool side by side, I think. And then for your Maximum Series figure comparison, we have the Maximum Series Spider-Man and the Maximum Letdown Hulk right over here. And this, I think, is my favorite of the three Maximum Series figures, or I will say it feels like it has the most value in the purchase. Like, I really love this Spider-Man figure, but the accessories didn't cut it for me. I thought the accessories were cool with this one, but the figure didn't cut it for me. This one meets right in the middle. I still think there's some things that could have been done to make it even better, but man, still a really good figure. And here's Deadpool next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown 6-armed Spider-Man. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's not me. I'm not that green guy, okay? I'm a totally different person. I'm innocent, I tell you. Innocent! Ah! So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I ask you to please hit that like button. It certainly helps the channel, as well as hitting that subscribe button if you have not done so already. And big thanks for watching the video. I know a lot of people have already reviewed this figure already, so the fact that you came back to check out what I had to say about it, it really does mean a lot to me. If If you guys want to share the video as well, that's always a big help too. Now, this Deadpool figure is a lot of fun. I had a great time posing it. I feel like I didn't really emphasize how much I really love the articulation on this figure. While I do have my gripes about the articulation, and I still really love the articulation a lot, but at the same time, my biggest complaints about the figure come with the articulation, as far as, you know, moving those shoulder joints around. That's always a bit scary for me. I already posed the shit out of this thing before talking about that. You know, I don't like discover stuff while I'm reviewing. I do all that stuff first. So I wish the shoulder issue wasn't a thing that bothered me so much. I wish we had some paint detail on the figure. You know, that would have been really nice too. And the katana. So I have my gripes about the figure for sure. But do I love it? Yes, I do love this thing. It's a great Deadpool figure regardless. Is it worth the $50? To me, it's worth the $50, man. Not for everybody. I'm not saying it should, you know, we don't all have to have the same opinion over here. If you don't think it's worth $50, I get it, man. But for me, at that price point, I'm giving this Maximum Series Deadpool a Sud rating of... And of course, I'd like to know what you guys think. I have a great time reading the comments, so leave your comment down below. And if you want to see the latest in action figure news, you can go ahead and find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face,